Hello, everyone. My name is Scott Aubrey. I'm the owner of Aubrey Law. We are an estate planning law firm in Needham, Massachusetts. And today I'm going to talk about what is probate and why do people want to avoid it. But before we get started, if you have any questions about estate planning, any questions about probate, or any questions about what I talk about today, you can go to estateplanmeeting.com and schedule a time to talk with me for free. Again, that website is estateplanmeeting.com. You can go there. You'll see my schedule. Pick a time that works best for you, and I'll be more than happy to help you in any way that I can. So today's topic is what is probate and why do people want to avoid it? I'm sure most people have heard of probate. They may have an idea of what probate is. Maybe they know someone whose family member has recently passed away and they're going through the probate process, so they kind of have an idea that it involves an executor, it involves beneficiaries, it involves assets, but they may not really know what that process is and what's involved in going through the probate. So, just to kind of simplify what probate is, it's really transferring the assets from one person to another. And what it really means is that it's transferring from the assets from the person who has recently died to their beneficiaries. It involves a lot of different things. There are rules that you need to follow regarding the probate process. Someone is appointed a personal representative of the estate. They used to be called an executor, but now they call them personal representatives. And what that person is in charge of doing is settling the estate. That involves gathering all the assets of the person who's died, paying off any outstanding debts that they need to be paid off, and then ultimately transferring the property from one person to another. So, for example, say you have a house, and then you die, and you leave that house to your daughter. That house needs to be transferred from your name into the name of your daughter. And the probate process achieves that transfer of property, and the personal representative is the one responsible for doing that. And they have other things they need to get done. They basically administer the estate. So the thing that people don't like about probate is that it can be time consuming. It takes time to actually do the work. Is that you need to make sure you have to gather all the assets. You have to maybe have to locate some beneficiaries that the decedent may have lost touch with. It can be expensive, right? Because you may have to hire an attorney to help you through that probate process because you're unfamiliar with what you need to get done. And then anytime the court gets involved in things, it can take time. And so it can be time and money. So people want to avoid that because ultimately what it does is that if they're dealing with getting things through probate, what they're really taking time away from the grieving process. They're not able, to grieve, to spend, put all their attention to the grieving process because they have issues with probate that they need to deal with. So that's why some people want to avoid it. So how do you actually avoid probate? Well, one of the best ways to avoid probate is creating a trust. And what a trust will do is think of a trust as a backpack where you put assets into that trust, and then when you die, that trust gets that backpack gets closed. The assets are now then controlled by the terms of that trust. And one of the big things about the trust is that it's not a probate asset because when you die, those assets are not in your name; they're owned by the trust. Therefore, those assets do not need to be probated. So that means that as soon as you pass and those assets are held in trust, now the trust controls what happens to those assets. If they need to be distributed right away to the beneficiaries, they can be done. They don't need court to sign off on that. You don't need the personal representative to be appointed. So really what it does is that having a trust allows you to avoid that probate process concerning those assets. You'll still need to probate the estate because there may be assets not held in the trust. There are still going to be debts that need to be satisfied and things like that. And you need to file like an estate return and things like that. But certain assets can avoid that process. It can go right to the beneficiaries a lot quicker. So that's kind of why people want to avoid probate, because they don't have to worry about spending money, transferring the assets. They don't have to worry about the court getting involved and holding up the process to transfer the assets. And it's just it's something they don't have to worry about because they've taken care of it before they passed. So that's all I have for today. So just to recap, probate is the process of transferring assets to one person to another. That's kind of the main purpose of probate, as well as settling any debts of the person who recently passed away. And why do people want to avoid it? Well, it can be time consuming, it can be expensive, and it really takes you away from the grieving process because you have to deal with dealing with probate. So that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to hear more from me about estate planning, please go subscribe to my channel. If you have a question or comment, leave it in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer it for you. If you know someone that can benefit from seeing my video, please share this with them. And again, if you have questions about estate planning or about probate, want to get started creating your own estate plan, you can go to estateplanmeeting.com and schedule a time to talk with me for free. Again, that website is estateplanmeeting.com. Go there, pick the time that works best for you, and be more than happy to help you in any way that I can. So once again, my name is Scott Aubrey. I'm the owner of Aubrey Law. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my video, and I will talk to you soon.